Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another episode of the Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, as always, Steve. Zach will be joining us momentarily right now. Going to have another fun one lined up for you guys today. Going to be talking some football. Going to talking some Sixers basketball. Got a couple guests lined up for you guys this evening. We're going to be talking to bare-knuckle boxer Sheena Starr, and we're also going to be talking to Sarro as well. And it looks like Mr. Burr is just about ready. Are you ready there, Mister?
Yeah, we're all right. I think we're good. I think. I look a little bit of a mess. Been in the sun all day, but that's what umpiring travel baseball for a living do.
Yeah, quick change up. We were, didn't think Zach was gonna make it. I had to pull a backup plan real fast, but he winds up getting here on time for today, so we're able to kind of keep the ship running as normal. But
Now we're rolling. See, now we look good, Steven. We got the camera at a good angle. Oh, it's beautiful.
Always, my friend. But real quick, let's get into the opener here, and we're brought to you by Dr. Paul Vidal, our doc. He's our doc. Make him your doc. Check him out in all his locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill. Find him on the web at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. And I know you're ready for today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Going to go into that poll question real quick here, but then that's also brought to you by Ambuck Services. That's AMBUCK Services. Call Michael Ambrose. Tell me to sent you 20% off your gutter guards, anything around your house. That's ambuckservices.com. And that poll question is that NFC East still up for grabs? Do you agree? Disagree? What do you think? Is it still up for grabs? We had Adam on yesterday, and a lot of us kind of openly have kind of accepted the Washington football team is probably going to be this divisional winner. Just kind of putting it out there for the fans, seeing what everyone thinks moving forward. Obviously, no one's really happy with how this team is performing, with how it's being coached, with how it's constructed. A lot of us want to blow it up here. A lot of things going on, guys. Fam, tell me what you think. Zach, is this division still up for grabs? Is Washington has this locked down? The Giants have this locked down? What's going on? What do you feel?
I think the division's still up for grabs. I just think it's not up for us to grab. I mean, we're not in this little game. Like I think the other three teams in the division are kind of playing hot potato with the NFC East lead, and we're just kind of on the outside. Like, when's it going to be our turn? Not this year. Yeah, hey, we fucked it all up. It was supposed to be our turn, but I think the Giants, the Washington football team, Dallas. Tony, I was umpiring all day. See, that's what I was talking about. First of all, I'm sitting next to. I can't. Just by default, I'm already better looking. Okay, just by default, no matter how I show up here, I look better. I'm the better looking of the two on the show. So, no notes that, Tommy. How about that? Okay. On top of it. Back to my point, before I was rudely interrupted by the owner of this place, I think the Giants, Washington football team, and Dallas all, you look at their schedules, they all kind of play the same teams. I think Washington maybe has the easiest schedule of the three, but not really easy. So I look at all of them; they're all got the same amount of wins. I think they're right there. Any of those three teams could win it. We're just not winning. If you ask me who I think's going to win it right now, I lean towards Washington, but I don't think it's not theirs and they're not going to run away with it. Like, this is going to go to the very end. I can see them beating us week 17, and that's what wins them the division.
Hey, listen. At this point in time, they just got to be one game better than the Giants. I think nationally we all kind of agree. Both the Eagles and the Cowboys are lame duck at this point in time. Let's be honest. Love our guys.
I think people look at this. I think people looked at this Daniel Jones injury for. Is that the John Lynch? Wait, are we kidding me right now? Okay, hold on. It can't be Pro Football Hall of Famer and San Francisco 49ers GM John Lynch. Every single week we have somebody show up in the chat room, Steven, with I swear is a fake name. We got people coming in here with cooler accounts every single week.
Before we got on, Darius Slay was already sitting there. Hold on, let me go back up to that one.
You know what I mean? Every week something.
Yeah, here we go.
Something fishy is going on up in here. See, there he is.
There's
What's up, Darius? Hey, Darius, please explain to me what happened this past weekend.
And no,
Because all I saw was you just getting your ass kicked all night long.
And speaking of which, I'm glad you brought up Darius Slay. We gotta go over something because a lot of people be flip flopping on people. All right, listen, Darius Slay. You know, and a lot of people were expecting big play Slay. We were expecting looking at 3, 4, 5 interceptions at this point in time of the season. It just hasn't really happened, and that's probably because we've been dying for a playmaker at cornerback. And let's be honest about that, right, guys? It's more than likely one of the reasons what it is, and it's one of these things that's rough, man. with
like, somebody bring me a hat. I feel like
listen, he got manhandled a little bit by DK last week, but it wasn't like he was getting burnt off the field and he was 2-3 steps. It was that they were fighting for balls and he was within a hand's reach to breaking a play up.
And in his defense, DK Metcalf's been beating everybody's ass this year. So
exactly, listen, and not just that. I think if you go and look at the Eagles' passing defense, they were averaging like 25th, 29th, and 30th over the last 3 seasons, and were ranked 8th this year. So as bad as that defense has been, it really hasn't been on the cornerbacks this season as much. And
listen. Slay didn't have a good game, but he's played well overall this year, and I think we've touched on that throughout most weeks, right? This doesn't change that. He needs to bounce back and have a good game, coming up here. But yeah, I mean, DK Metcalf is really, really good. A lot of guys been made to look silly this year by him, so I'm not too worried about it long term. But the guy had a bad game. That guy had a bad game, and he got embarrassed. I mean. It was more, it was more than just, it was more than just, DK was making plays. He embarrassed him at times. But, listen, great players, I love how he owned up and said, listen, I suck. I flat out suck. And that's the worst football game I've played in a long time. And he took ownership of it.
And since being on that, Carson is now taking ownership of basically everything this season. And I haven't heard another single player on offense stand up and say anything. Yeah, I got a problem with that. Dude.
Did you see the report about Doug Peterson apparently encouraged Carson? Encouraged? I don't know. That's maybe forced Carson might be the better word. But I heard that he encouraged Carson to take more ownership and acknowledge more ownership with his teammates, as far as making himself responsible for some of the things that are happening with this team, whether or not they're his fault or not. Just as the quarterback, kind of putting yourself in the line of fire and being the guy that takes the bullet.
There's other guys that need to stand up and take that bullet.
What do you think of that? Like, what do you make out of it? I really don't know what to make out of a story like that, Steve. Are we making too much out of a story like that?
I don't think you're making too much of it. I mean, you that's something you like to hear, regardless. Even if Doug encouraged him to sit there and say it, that means the other C's in that locker room need to stand up and hold the rest of the guys in that locker room accountable and say, "Hey, it's time for everyone to Big C Dub called himself out on his own stuff. It's time for everyone to call themselves out on their own stuff." Period.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my point with it is like either one way or another. I don't think it's a good thing. Like I think you could look at it and some people will say, well, this is clearly the Carson haters will come out and use it as firepower for why he's not a good leader, yada yada, or something like that he's got to work on, and it's a negative Carson thing. Well, the other side of it is we've got all this other shit going on with this football team and all of these issues with this football team, and you're forcing the quarterback to be the guy that falls on the sword and take the blame for it. Where are you? Like, why don't you come out as the head coach of this team and fall on the sword? Or put yourself in the line of fire and take the bullet. Like, I think either way you look at it, no matter what side of the fence of that argument you're on, it's not good. There's nothing good to make out of this. Like, either way, I don't like it. Like, this is just more like baggage. That's it seems like 2020. In general, has had a ton of baggage, but the 2020 Eagles season especially has come with a ton of baggage, and we just more and more and more and more. It's like this is the type of stuff when you look at teams that fall apart and you watch guys get fired this is how it happens. This is the type of stuff we're seeing. Every single week, a new story comes out about, what the hell's going on in that front office or in that locker room and the chemistry with guys or this or that. I don't see any way how this gets any better before it just continues to get worse. And we said that last week, right?
I mean, listen, now you're also hearing reports that there's a high probability that the nerd stays. There's a high probability of it. Oh man, this is rough. Like I said, man, I told you they wasn't gonna let go of this guy, man, and that Doug's gonna be this. Doug and the rest of the coaches will be.
What is that? Howie might stay. Excuse me. Howie might stay. Doug might stay. The whole report. I mean, I saw the report that said Howie obviously was very close with Laurie, and people said that they'd be shocked if Howie went anywhere. Like maybe he would get relieved of drafting duties, but outside of that, they don't see him being fired. And then you see reports come out that I was like, all right, well, I guess that tells me that Doug's the one being fired here. If Howie's going to be staying, they're going to fire Doug. And then you see reports coming out about, Doug Peterson's job's probably safe next year. What in the fuck is going on? So we're just going to keep doing it. They clearly don't see eye to eye as far as how they want to run this football team in the direction things are going to go.
There we go, man. They always messing with your facial hair, brother. They always got to mess with your facial hair.
The goatee, what's up with it? Well, I can actually grow one, and it's ginger beard. I've got to show off the ginger beard. I don't give a fuck. I look good, okay? Me and Steven, whatever. We're hippie brothers. I don't know. What you want me to tell you?
Oh, no. Someone was telling me.
I couldn't let him be the only one. I couldn't let him be the only one looking like a homeless man without a shave and a haircut in 2 years. So, I had to, this is what we do. It's a dueling, we rock it. It's like dueling sunglasses. We rock it together.
Yeah,
we're a team here.
Someone was telling me on Twitter, we needed to shave it. There must be a beard requirement for the show, or there might be a beard requirement for the show at times.
For this show, there is a beard requirement. Absolutely. Yes. And a shirt requirement. Still a shirt requirement, Mr. Buckley.
We're never gonna hear the end of that one. You're always gonna keep
anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman, and how the hell we're still gonna have a job. Does it make sense to you, Steven, in all seriousness? Like you would think at the very least one of them has to get fired, right? One of them. The idea that both of them are still here? I don't get it. And I don't buy into this idea. I know Doug Peterson said he's already given up some play calling duties, the press Taylor. Why the fuck? I don't even know how true it is, but if that's true, why is Press Taylor getting the responsibility of calling plays? Why not do Staley?
They're coming at you, bro. Here it comes. There goes some more.
No, I sneezed and Steven didn't hit the mute button in time, Mr. Producer. Okay, we've got a sneeze button and Steven didn't hit it. Okay, it's his fault. Anyway.
Oh man.
It's a schmedium. It's a schmedium, by the way. It's a schmedium, not a small, not a medium. It's a schmedium.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
We gotta have some fun.
I can roll with it, Steven. That's what the people don't understand. I'm a man of the people. They can fire all the shots they want. I'll fire them right back. It don't bother me.
That's why we love you, Zach. You got ammunition for all of them. But I mean,
in all seriousness, somebody's got to get fired, and I don't want to hear this shit about people keeping their jobs. I really don't.
I'm with you there. I don't think
anyone. I know we've talked about it. Do you think?
Go ahead. You there? Well, go ahead.
I just want. Do you think Doug? Anybody Doug's not giving up play calling duties, is he? I think we talked about that. We're kind of in agreement.
That's another thing that got brought up this week. That's another thing that got brought up. I've seen it in some of these groups. Some people whining and moaning. Who was the play caller the last 2 years? What happened there? Why is Carson? Here we go again with the fans that have this hate fueled agenda against this quarterback. Listen, he takes blame. He owns some of the blame. He needs to be held accountable for it. I think he has in the city for the most part about it. There's a lot that needs to go on, man. We've said it from the revolving door of skill position players. We can even go to the revolving door of freaking offensive linemen this season. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, he needs to be better. We all have down years. When we're talking about professional athletes, high-level professional athletes, we all have down years. This might be his. Yeah. Couldn't have picked a
I
worse
think I'm
time to
past
have
the
one.
Carson conversation.
Well, no, I mean,
You know
here
what
you
I
got,
mean? Like,
dude. He weighted the last few years. Put him on his back. You can't take that away from him. So
he set franchise records last year. People want to talk about what Donovan used to have to throw to, and Pinkston and James Thrash and guys like that weren't, they weren't anything pretty. But I'll tell you what, those guys, James Thrash could run a route, like he could run around and get open and find a way to get separation and catch a ball when it was thrown to him. I mean, our offense didn't call for a lot of that then, but I think James Thrash and Pinkston and guys like that Donovan had to throw to early in his career were better than anything that was on this team last year from a receiver perspective. I really do. And I'll stand by that and I'll die on that. Like,
there's the one right here.
About what we used to watch. It wasn't better last year.
Jameer hits it on the head again. So much focus has been on Wentz and it needs to be on Howie.
You would, but this is why, this is why I said I'm past the Carson conversation.
I do. I don't want to hear the Carson conversation anymore. I don't want to hear the Jalen Hurts conversation anymore.
I agree, Tommy. He needs to play better. But the bottom line is, we all know what the contract situation is, and the idea of him being traded or you moving on from him, it's a pipe dream. If you really wanted to get out of the contract, I'm with you. I think we'd all be like, maybe we'd like a way out of that contract now. But right now, there's no way out of that contract without paying $59 million in dead cap money.
Bobby's even bringing a point like with those running clean routes. We've been hearing a lot.
Exactly.
We've been hearing a lot, guys not being on the right spot on the field, causing a lot of this thing is where Carson takes hits on it. The interception at the end of that game last week was on Dallas Goedert. It wasn't on Carson Wentz. Dallas Goedert was supposed to go the other way, not inside.
Now, does that change the fact that he can throw the ball underneath with the first down markers at?
Oh no, and again, that's that. But that goes right back to what we say. He needs to be better.
Right. But that's why I agree.
But it's also being compounded the fact him playing bad on top of everyone else playing bad on top of the coaches.
But if you're going to be critical, make sure you're being critical about the right things. There's plenty of things to be critical about right now.
There's nothing to see there. To get him killed, what's going to happen? What are we going to see? Are we going to see him get murdered? He's going to get murdered.
These people that they call themselves, I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts. If you're such a big fan of Jalen Hurts, why would you throw him out into this mess? This is how you ruin people's careers before they ever get started. Ask David Carr what it's like to walk into a situation that's such a total shit show that you get sacked 80 times your rookie year, and next thing you know, you're so shell-shocked, you have no idea, you don't even know your elbows from your ass anymore on a football field. Like, you don't want to throw a young kid like that into this environment. There's no point in doing that. Even if you're convinced he's going to be better, which I'm not, there's no point in doing that. Because I know we've had 13 different line combinations in 12 years, in 12 games, Steve P. That's what I know. In 12 games, we've had 13 different line combinations. So when you got more line combinations than you did football games, I don't even know how that's fucking possible. What did we run out one in the first half and one in the second? Like, I don't even understand how the hell but that was a weird stat where you looked at all of these different line combinations that you had. I'm not putting a rookie quarterback.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to remind people. Carson's always been money in December. Regardless, we got a murderer's row ahead of us this month and all that. I get that, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get. There's nothing to gain from putting Jalen Hurts in this position. What to get? You're going to get him reps to what? To be pile driven into the ground. Exactly. He hasn't looked exactly great out there when giving the limited rep snaps, etc. That he's been given. Dropped a lot of handoffs. Bobbled a freaking an RPO. I mean, I think he had that one nice pass he completed or something like that. So listen, no one's knocking the guy, but listen, come on, it's enough.
Maybe I'd like to see more of him. The idea that, we're going to see more of him, and then he had 2 snaps or whatever, it was kind of like, what's going on here? He needs to play at a high level down the stretch. I would like to see him play at a high level down the stretch. But
no one's sitting there saying that he shouldn't. We're just what is starting him proving at this? Like,
yeah, I was going to get to that in a minute. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Carson needs to play well. I would like. Obviously, it would be nice, and yeah, I'm sure it would be huge for his confidence. I don't think I'm not worried about him next year as a football player if he doesn't end this year strong. I just think what that tells me is we've got to make some major overhauls to what our offensive system is and bring in some guys. Doug Peterson loses play calling duties at least. We hope we'll take somebody.
This whole Jay, you got that, brother. They set this whole season up for failure, from the draft to the cap situation and not making not walking away from guys when they should have. I mean, there's a laundry list of things we can go down, Jay, that set up not just Carson for failure, but this season for failure.
I'll tell you what. I think I knew this season might be in trouble. Like my first sign is this season might be in a little bit of trouble.
I think you missed that one last week, Jameer. I think you missed that one last week. I think what was it? That Dallas Goedert was kind of the ringing endorsement.
I mean, listen, if we're just being brutally honest about it, nobody is safe. I mean, realistically, like you've got certain guys like a Carson contract that we know we can't move on from. Other than that, like there's nobody on this team. If you can move on from a contract, you're out. Like peace, bro. Like Fletcher Cox, see you. You're not really doing enough for me to sit there and say it's worth paying you all that money. Don't give a fuck. Don't care how long you've been here. There's the door. I'll get what I can for you. And like Miles Sanders, I like Miles Sanders. I think he could be a great player, but he just ran the ball 6 times against the fuck is going on with playing the Seahawks? It's like you want to talk about a game where you're like, if there's ever a time to run the ball and try to establish something there and not try to force your quarterback to have to throw the ball 50 times. That was the game.
Bobby. Absolutely would trade Ertz. Goddard's not going nowhere. Goddard and Rodgers should be your tight ends for the next 2 to 3 seasons moving forward after this year.
You trading Ertz just because that's the business of football, and you were going to be trading Ertz before this whole thing turned into a shit show. But I think I knew this.
And that goes back to Jameer's point. He should have been traded during the offseason.
You could have explored that. I mean, I understand the idea of getting one more year out of him and then trading him this offseason. That's kind of like the best football business. But now you put yourself in a position where
Fulgham is an interesting guy. Is not a must keep. He'll probably be here. He'll be here.
Contract really cheap next year. Like he's already under contract for like a rookie level deal next year.
Steve, we already seen what the second round pick is. That's why he's not on the field. Regardless of rookie, regardless of spark, regardless of if he was that good, he would have been on the field as the starter already.
Steve P, and who's the other guy that was talking about all rookies? None of them ever play. Like they don't play in paradise. Yes, and then Joe Burrow snaps his leg in two because you put him in such an environment where
it was Murphy Brown, but apparently we were morons too.
Okay, so Murphy Brown was the other guy. The rookies don't play in solid paradise. Yeah, and then Joe Burrow snaps his leg in two, and now you don't know what the fuck the kid is going to be going forward. This kid that looked like such a generational talent, he's got tore 3 different knee ligaments. There's other structural damage that they're worried about. That's the type of shit that happens when you put people in environments that are a total shit show and a mess like that. Why would you
realize they look at him in practice, right? Do we have to keep going over this?
No, Steve, yeah. Is this guy a troll? I don't trust people without profile pictures, first of all. I don't trust people without profile pictures that just have the letter S as their profile. Is this guy trolling right now? Are we football unintelligent? No, but you sure as hell are. You damn sure are. He's 30 offensive snaps. Yeah, like he's not running practice reps every goddamn week. I'm just done with it, Steve. I'm done with it. These people, they're just idiots. And I'm sorry. I don't care who I offend anymore. Okay? They're just idiots. This is what happens when the Eagles suck. Okay? When the Eagles suck, we get testy in this city. Okay?
Hey, well, listen. We're gonna be switching gears here. We're gonna be switching gears here and talking some Sixers, breaking down that schedule and everything like that in a few minutes. But we're gonna talk this Packers game in a few too. But
see, Bill at least making sense here with Ertz, talking about if you can get a lot out of Ertz. Here at the final 5 games.
Anyone want to make it? Who wants to place their bets on this one since people want to throw out guarantees? I guarantee you his ceiling is, like we said, Tyrod Taylor.
I don't even understand what he's guaranteeing. Like, usually people guarantee, they're very like, is he guaranteeing that Jalen's better than Carson right now? Is he guaranteeing that Jalen's going to be better than Carson, like, at some point? Like, I don't even understand what we're talking about here, Drew. Because at the moment, I mean, like, there's nothing like that you've seen from Jalen Hurts to make you say he's going to be better than Carson Wentz right now. Even
No,
as bad as
actually,
Carson
Steve, you stand corrected. We don't blame you. This isn't your fault. This is the fans' fault. This isn't Carson's fault. This is the management's fault. This is the front office's fault. This is Howie Roseman's fault. This has nothing to do. See, like, you guys are absolutely entitled to your opinion, but this is a recipe of the Eagles' own making.
I mean, I think you heard Torrey Smith came out and said something very intelligent about the whole situation. Like, as an organization, who does this? Like, what organization just pulls the rug out from underneath the franchise quarterback and the guy that just sat there and balled his ass off, you know, with nobody at wide receiver, and then you pull the rug out from him by drafting a quarterback in the second round. Like, winning organizations don't do that. And Torrey Smith made that point, you know, about like how can you sit here and look at the guy and go like, oh, why is he struggling? Like, what do you mean? Why is he struggling? Because this is what you like. This is how you get guys to not play well. This is what you do as an organization to like kill players. You know, their ability to get the most out of them as far as their talent goes. You surround them with situations that completely kills their confidence and gets it to a point. Carson, I'm worried about Carson to the point where he looks like somebody that's playing with such little confidence that it's almost like he's forgotten what it's like to play with confidence. And once you forget, you know, what it's like to play with that confidence, you know, and that, you know, that attitude, I worry that maybe it's hard to recapture it, if you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, if you go so long without being able to you know, to play with that chip on your shoulder and that attitude and all that, you know, that made him so good in 2017 and made him so good down the stretch last year. He just looks like somebody that's not sure of himself in any way. And it's almost like, how do you get him from that guy and actually pull it out of him again and be like, hey, like, there's no reason for you not to be confident. Like, it's almost like the first few weeks of it, yes, but 10 to 12 weeks of this, now I'm worried that when you've played 10 weeks of unconfident football and you just look like a guy that isn't sure of yourself, how can I ever trust that you're going to be able to find that within yourself again? Like, that's where I'm a little bit worried about it. But I know if, you know, they bring in the right coaching and all, and they're able to find, you know, that with it, I know the talent's still there. You don't go from a guy that, you know, can be one of the best quarterbacks in football to within 3 years you suck. But you definitely, you know, are a guy that your talent doesn't go anywhere, but maybe your confidence level does, right? Maybe, you know, your confidence in yourself starts waning a little bit. You know, things like that can definitely, you know, play an effect. I know the talent's still there. I'm not confident that there's a way to pull that talent back out of them again, if that makes sense.
It does, brother, and you know, Tommy's in the chat agreeing with you as usual. But I mean, I'm with you here, Snap. Absolutely, you know, he did. But here's the problem with that. You put yourself in the position where Jason Peters has to start because of the fact of how depleted the offensive line is in all
Why
that.
Why does he have to start? You saying you don't think we've got somebody else healthy enough to start over him?
Obviously, if there was somebody better, they would be starting over him.
Well, has Herbig been playing? I don't even see what happened with Herbig. I mean, was he? I don't think he's starting at the moment, right? He has not been a part of. Matt Pryor's been the guy that's been a part of the rotation. I haven't seen Herbig in it. Is he healthy? I mean, I'd rather see him play at right guard at this point than Peters. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, the offensive line's a huge problem. Anytime that you have this many offensive line combinations throughout the course of a season, it's a problem. And I'll tell you what, people can talk everything they want, anything they want about whatever's going on with this offense. I'll demand that you go find me. I'll challenge the biggest research nerd you can find. You know, I don't know if we have anybody here at HUD that's like that. We're kind of, you know, more like no notes type of people, right? As Tommy likes to say. But I'll challenge any like of these biggest research nerds you could possibly find to try to go find me a team that's had a winning record or was a playoff team or something like that, that's had, more than 5 offensive line combinations, 8, 5 to 8 offensive line combinations throughout a year. I bet you if you went and found examples of every team in the past 20 years in the NFL that have had, offensive line, at least, this many offensive line combinations, 8, 9, 10 different offensive line combinations throughout the course of a year, I bet you the common denominator with every single one of them is that none of them won a lot of football games. I bet you the common denominator when you look at all this,
I mean, and that was another one of my points we were going to go over about this game. The balance has to be back. Carson cannot throw the ball more than 32 times a game. Period.
I don't understand why they don't try to run like a clock management type, of thing where he doesn't have to throw the ball more than 30 times. I'd rather see him throw the ball 25 times a game. We run the ball 40.
Listen, the only time I think you should start seeing him starting to throw a lot is when he runs that up tempo game, when you're having problems running the ball the way you need to efficiently. You need.
Yeah,
I mean, and it's a drum that Tommy's beating on here on A2D. The play action is what made Carson so special that 17th season, and what you have in Miles is actually better than what you had overall in the running back situation. Obviously it was a Swiss Army knife what we had in 17 at running back. So I mean, I don't see why you shouldn't be placating that if he's doing that. If Miles is tearing you up and that you're actually getting the team to believe you're going to run the ball, that's when Carson is able to take those big shots, those beautiful balls that we've seen in 17. So I mean,
I'm fine with them throwing the ball a lot. Like if the run's not working and we're just getting our ass kicked trying to run the football, okay, I understand. Well, we've got to throw the ball because running the ball is not working. But for the most part this year, running the football has been successful for us. Miles Sanders has got 5.7 yards per carry or whatever it is, right? Boston Scott, in the time that he's had to spell Miles Sanders, hasn't looked too bad. I'm not real sure why Jordan Howard isn't where the hell's he been? He was on the practice squad. How long this guy? What's this guy, a rookie all of a sudden? This guy can't see the field? What the fuck? I don't understand any of that. What the hell just sign him for type of thing? But between Sanders and Howard, you should be able to run the ball.
Love him, but
times a game.
I love him, but you got to ask Dave Phibb what's so special about Corey Clement that he has to hold a roster spot on this team.
Okay, exactly. And Matt Spillane, maybe he's not a research nerd, but I guess he found this stat for us. We're the first team to have 10 different offensive line combinations in the first 11 games of the season since 1984. So that tells you everything you need to know. Well, we were bitching about how bad we are. Well, we've just done something that no team, we've done something that's so, terribly bad. It hasn't been done since 1984. Think about how banged up you have to be to do something where, it hasn't been done since 1984. That's how bad it was, right? So I mean, Steven, you were how old in 1984?
3.
You were 3 years old at the time? I mean, that's a long time ago to sit there and say that's how long ago it was that a team had an offensive line that was in shambles so bad that they've had to have as many different combinations as us. Oh, yeah, we want to be Philly and we want to sit here and bitch about all this shit going on with the team. Maybe it all does start with the offensive line. I know people got pissed because Doug threw the offensive line under the bus or something. Isn't that what he threw the offensive line?
Well, I mean, as much as we love Kelsey, he hasn't done himself any favors this year. And that's another thing that we have to look at moving forward. Jason Kelsey's probably gone. He's probably going to retire.
He might retire. Yeah, he's been thinking about it. He just looks like
Lane. As much as we love Lane and Brooks, both of them has been banged up a lot over the last handful of seasons. You don't know what Andre Dillard is. Jordan Mailata, you still don't quite know what he is yet. We haven't officially gotten that first chapter out of the way, so we still don't know what that is. You still have so many questions on that offensive line moving forward. So
the whole offensive line needs to be reworked. I mean, they just need to rework it probably top to bottom. I mean, there's not really Dillard and Mailata might get looks just because they're young and they're here and they show a little potential. Kelsey, Peters, Brooks, Lane Johnson.
Definitely is one on both sides of the ball. Steve, the problem is neither side of them showed up. Literally, you can name on one hand that of guys on this team that you know for a fact has not quit at any point in any game this season, and it's probably like Brandon Graham and Carson.
That's the one thing I've said about Carson during this whole stretch.
And Kelsey, you got to put Kelsey on that list as well.
Sure, yeah, Kelsey's been playing hurt and all that. But what's the one thing? Me and you have had some conversations where I said, listen, we could say a lot about how Carson's playing because it's been ugly at times. He hasn't played well. It hasn't gotten to a point really outside of maybe a couple game stretch, maybe Pittsburgh and Baltimore, where you're like, hey, he's starting to look, okay. He's been bad for pretty much the whole year. But the one thing you could say about the guy that you can't really say about many other guys on this team, at least from the looks of it, is this dude fights till the final whistle every single game. The dude's a warrior. And we sit here and in this city, one thing we've always done as a fan base is guys that are warriors that play the game in that way and have that mindset. We love them. The Chase Utleys, and the guys like that, that are the hard nosed, blue collar type athlete that that Philly fans love. They just love that. Love those types of guys. Well, Carson's one of those guys, the blue collar, hard working, warrior type, athlete that we love in this city. And yeah, he's not playing well. We get that. Nobody's trying to hide any of that. But for whatever reason, every other athlete in this city that seems to be that warrior type that never stops fighting, and no matter how bad they're playing, as long as they show that type of attitude, we give them the benefit of the doubt. Carson doesn't get that benefit of the doubt with this fan base. It's so weird to me. Like Chase Utley could go and
there you go, Snap. So there you go, right there. We haven't been getting turnovers, and even when we do like force a fumble, a lot of times it's being recovered, but by whoever we're playing against. So that's even the bigger rougher part about it. And yeah, Alex Singleton's been balling this season. He has been getting after it. He probably won't.
He
probably earned himself a roster spot next season. He probably
we're already crowning him as the next Brian Urlacher. Like, he's playmaking.
I just said he earned himself a roster spot next season.
No, I agree with that. But I'm not talking about that. But I've heard people talk about the kid as if he's like, just like the people that were talking about Fulgham after a few games, as if he's T.O. Like, cut the bricks. Like, our linebacking core stinks. Okay, it's easy to look like the shiniest turd in the toilet bowl. Like, it really is. Like, and I think the kid's balled out and he's made some great plays. And yeah, I'm with it. He's earned a roster spot next year. But this idea, like, I've heard people be like, oh, that linebacker, like, that guy's a starter next year. You don't need to worry about drafting that position. Like, this guy, stop it. Like, the guy's Brian Urlacher, because the rest of our linebacking core stinks, and the guy, is in a position to make plays, and he does. I'm going to crown him. Like we learned that with Fulgham, how quickly that changes, right? Like, how quickly that shit changes around here. So, I like the kid, and I'm with you. I think he's earned himself a roster spot next year. He's somebody that's a promising young player that I like his attitude, and he's got that blue collar, type attitude that we love, right? I think that's part of another reason that people are falling in love with the kid, right? Allen Iverson's a great example, right? And then, I love Singleton. Yeah, because he shows that fire and that heart and that passion and that grittiness that we love to see from our athletes. So we give them the benefit of the doubt every chance we can when they have that type of that personality trait, right? Unless you're Carson Wentz, then you don't get the benefit of the doubt when you have that personality trait. They don't give a fuck. Everybody else can get the benefit of the doubt, but Carson's going to get ripped unmercifully. And listen, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. I'm just saying, I find it funny sometimes that, it's like usually those types of athletes are the guys that we try to do everything we can to give them the benefit of the doubt for as long as we possibly can. And Carson's the first guy that we want to, sacrifice, as our sacrificial lamb. Like, he's the guy, like, nope, take Carson. Like, if there's any, it's Carson. Like, he's the guy. It's like, make him fall on the sword.
There you go.
It doesn't really make sense. I see way more Wentz. Do you? I mean, Wentz apologist. Yeah, because people don't I don't see any of that. I see people that rip this dude on the. I see people rip the dude for being a fucking ginger, for God's sakes. I saw people ripping the guy 2 years ago after his injury because he spends too much time hunting. This guy hunts. I don't like the fact that he hunts. Like, we fucking sit here and find every possible thing to rip the dude about. Don't fucking sit here and give me that people want to. We rip the guy plenty when he's not playing well, just like we do any player. We just don't want the fact that idiots like Max Kellerman are on ESPN fucking talking out their ass, about shit that they have no idea about. That pisses us off. It's not,
and that's what I was talking about earlier in the show about all these players doing switch ups. You had D'Angelo Hall a few years ago talking about how great Darius Slay was, and then he was running his mouth last week after the Monday night game about how garbage he was. And those same people were doing the same thing for Carson Wentz in that 17 season. What was that monologue they had? I think it was like Von Miller, all these guys showing Carson all this love, and then now he's just this garbage player. And it's even worse from the fan base. I've lost count of how many Philly groups, Eagles groups, fans I've either left, blocked, removed out of social media just because all it is Carson this and like. Listen, I mean, I thought some of the people were bad with Mike Vick and the dogfighting stuff, but wow, the Carson Wentz hate is just way. Come on. Like, listen, I get it. And they call and the funny thing is they call this kid mentally weak. Like somebody who is that strong of faith in his religion. I can't subscribe to that. I can't.
But that's the people that want to come up with all the stupid, like the weird shit. It's like, okay, rip his play. Like, we're with that. The shit that the smart fans in this city, like, they don't put up with is the nonsense, and they don't give a fuck like who it's from or where it comes from. If it's nonsense, it's nonsense. Like, if you're going to be critical, you be critical of the things that are actually, deserve, your criticism. You don't just come up with a bunch of other bullshit to be critical of just because it's funny to you or it's a narrative. That's nonsense, and that shit gets called out in this city very quickly. And people take that as, oh, well, you're just making excuses for them. No, we're just calling out the insanity of the people that, like, for example, want Jalen Hurts to start over him. Like, sitting here and saying Jalen Hurts shouldn't start over him isn't being a Carson Wentz apologist. It's just being realistic and smart about, what's best for this football team. Yeah, and he's not being used right by this staff. They don't really use anybody correctly. I mean, that's been part of the issue all year. And then you say that, and people, again, they call, oh, you're just being a Carson apologist. No, it's just if you're going to be critical of players who are not playing well, you've got to be critical of coaches.
Here's another thing. Even in that great year he had, it was basically almost the league MVP up until the last 3 games of the season. He only had a QBR of 77.
His best all-around year, I've tried to tell people this, his best all-around year when you look at it was last year. His completion percentage was under 60% in the MVP in 2017. He had like a 58% completion percentage, but he made a ton of big plays. He'd make a ton of big plays, ton of big throws. He could make big plays with his legs. He was explosive. There was things about him that just made you go, wow, as he jumped off the page at you when you watched him.
Oh, man. Here we go. All right. All right, Bill, the floor is yours, Zachary.
Yeah, I know. And Bill's one of these Carson haters, and me and him have gotten into it before. Nobody said he should get a pass, Bill. See, this is what you people don't understand. Oh, he doesn't get a pass. No, he doesn't get a pass. But when Chase Utley would go into funks, when Chase Utley would go into funks,
remember the funks Ryan Howard used to get into?
Well, and Ryan Howard got ripped unmercifully in this city too, but people ripped him because they thought he was lazy and weak, and he was another one that was like, it's nonsense. But I don't want to use Howard because he doesn't really fit the blue collar mode I'm talking about. I'll use examples of guys that we loved. We loved as athletes. We love guys like T.J. McConnell. T.J. McConnell stinks, but we love T.J. McConnell because T.J. McConnell's blue collar and gritty and scrappy and gets in there and is a hard-nosed player, and that's shit that we like, right? So we sit there and we give that guy the benefit of the doubt, and we just like, hey, like he's not playing well, but we'll find things to defend about him because we want to give that guy the benefit of the doubt. Chase Utley had us, towards the end of it, especially when he was hurt. I mean, the guy stunk for long periods of time. You know what I mean? And people defended the guy left and right because they knew, he's a warrior and he's out there playing on 2 bad knees, and there's a lot more to this than just him not being a good ball player anymore. And you tried to sit there and do everything you could to give the guy the benefit of the doubt because that was the way it worked. But that's not the way it works now, Bill. Because I know Bill's a huge Chase Utley guy. But, it works that way with his boy Chase Utley, but it doesn't work that way with Carson Wentz, does it? Bill's probably one of those guys that booed Mike Schmidt in the 70s, let's be honest.
So, Eagles, Packers. What are you feeling? Last week was a lot closer than a lot of people thought. A lot of people felt a roll out of Seattle. You know, even you were one of those people that felt a roll out of Seattle after last week, and the defense showed up. The defense showed up. God.
I love how this football team finds every possible way to piss people off. Does it not? Not only do they play bad, but like we were like, I'm cool with them playing bad. Then they found a way to backdoor cover some people and fuck up a lot of people's money lines and bets that week and just piss people off that lost a bunch of money on the game. You saw the one guy lost.
I don't even really have to answer this one. The quarterback will always be more valuable than the head coach. The head coach is always replaceable. The quarterback isn't. I don't know. I don't know which football you've been watching over the last 20 to 30 years, however long you've been on this planet and been involved in sports, but come on now.
These people that use Peterson won a Super Bowl, and so did Howie Roseman by that logic. And that, like, so what's that have to do with anything? Like, who cares? I don't. It was 3 years ago. Yeah, Wilson. No. I'm comparing the love that we have for them as that, and I love Chase too, Wilson. Like, Chase is one of my favorite athletes of all time. My point was, I'm talking about guys that we had love for because of the type of blue-collar player that they were. It has nothing to do with talent levels. That's why we brought up guys that were really, really good, and we brought up guys that weren't any good. The bottom line was we were talking about guys that are blue-collar, hard-nosed, type of athletes, and we love them for their personalities more than we do anything else in this city. The guys that we love in this city because of their personalities, we like to give them the benefit of the doubt every chance we can. But we're not doing that with Carson, even though
we're with you here, Mike. We're with you here, Mike.
The guys we've loved for years.
Captain Pocket Person needs to go. I'm with you. I'm with you, Mr. McFly. But we're getting our first score in here. They're saying 31-13. I said I'm still gonna sit there and be around there until they show me they could score more than 17 points. And don't even give me last week, because that was a fluke there at the end. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I can't pick them to win. I think that's insanity.
Especially in Aaron Rodgers' place in Green Bay.
Yeah, we went to Green Bay last year and beat them. Does that happen twice in a row?
It's a different team. Well, no, I mean, Carson's played pretty well there. I think he's like 2-1. He's 2-1 there. I think he's something.
I don't know, like those things. It seems like, I don't know. To me, it's like one of those things where, like, you're lucky to go to Green Bay, and win in Green Bay, once, let alone go there, and win twice. It's like with this team in December, Green Bay's a playoff team. If anything, I see them being motivated to come out and lay the smackdown on us.
I don't disagree with you there, my friend.
I see them being motivated to come lay the smackdown on us as opposed to us, being motivated to go. I mean, what are we motivated to do at this point? Like, I don't just like, what are we going to go? Like, what are we proving if we beat Green Bay?
No, I don't think he looks. I don't think he looks broken. I think he just looks lost in a system that isn't being made to suit his needs. I think
a guy that doesn't have any confidence right now. He looks like a guy that has zero. Like, it's not that he's just lacking confidence. He looks like he has zero confidence. He's gun shy. He's trigger shy. It's like a fighter towards the end of his career that can't pull the trigger on punches, right? He's afraid to pull the trigger and throw haymakers right now, and that's what he does. You know what I mean? But it's not because he's not capable of doing that anymore. There's just something else there mentally that's preventing him from having the confidence to do it. But a coaching staff can bring that back out of you. They can find that and find a way to drag that back out of you. Mm-hmm. Just this coaching staff isn't going to do it. It's not going to happen with this group of guys.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
31-24, I might like Matthew. Matthew Christian went 28-24. I like 31-24, maybe 31-21 again. We find a way to keep it closer than some people think, but it's just not a game we're going to win.
Now, switching gears here, obviously, because we've beaten this drum with the negativity and the Eagles here, but let's hop in here with the Sixers talk, because obviously some things have been going on. Schedule just dropped, and it looks really nice from December to January for the Sixers. If they don't go on a nice run, there's a problem. I mean, the Wizards, the Knicks, the Cavaliers, the first tough games at the end against the Raptors. Then you got the Magic, which is going to be a rough one. Then you got prior home to home there against the Hornets. Then you get the Wizard again. Then you finally get the Nets. I mean, it's and then you don't even play Miami until January 14th.
That Wizards matchup is going to be fun this year.
What the opening night?
Well, the Wizards matchup in general, we're going to play them a lot, obviously, because we're in the same conference, same division, and I think that's going to be a fun matchup. I don't know what you put Ben on Westbrook and say, hey, you're all NBA defense for a reason. Imagine the shows those guys are going to put on. Westbrook will probably get the better of it some nights. Ben will probably get the better of it some nights, but that's a fun matchup to watch. Every time that we play, that's worth the price of admission.
I mean, they should probably have at least 10 wins by the time they hit January 16th. Right after that, the 2 games against the Heat. Wouldn't you say?
I mean, I don't know. I want to see how different everything looks with Doc Rivers as far as the offense they run, the defense they run, things like that. Let that determine maybe how long it'll take for everything to click. But yeah, I mean, I think they know they're talented, which is weird. Like, it's amazing what happens when you bring in guys like Doc Rivers, right? This team is all of a. You haven't heard shit like this from this team in the past. You heard them talk about how good they felt. Like, we feel like we can be pretty good. They're talking about how we're gonna go win a championship. You know what I mean? Like this is our year. Like we know we're good enough. We know we're capable of doing it. Like, we're gonna go make it happen. That's a winner's mentality, right? That's what somebody like a Doc Rivers comes in there and he changes. He changes that mentality from like, y'all have no idea how good you are. Like, and he demands that you start like, y'all should sit in here and everybody in this room should feel like you're the best player in the world and the best team in the world. And every single night you can go out there and kick anybody's ass. It shouldn't be like.
I'm with you there, Chris. I'm with you there.
It shouldn't be like like it was last year, especially under Brett Brown, where you kind of like saw a team that was kind of like, you got all this talent out there, but like none of them they're just like, they're going through the motions as much as they're like, sitting there trying to pound it home to people, hey, we're this fucking good. We know we're this fucking good, and we're going to come out here and kick your ass every night. I think this team, from the things that they've said, seems like they have that, a little bit of that type of attitude about them. They want to go out there every night and they want to beat teams and beat them bad. Like, they don't just want to go play basketball. They want to go.
I think we might see a variation of that the bully ball that we were trying. They were trying to work, but now you actually have the shooting to kind of make it work. Where you put Joe and Ben down low and just let them have fun.
You can play with some Philly attitude. Play with some attitude in there. Play with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. I want to see Joel dunking on people and yelling and screaming and going crazy, pounding his chest, and getting technical fouls because he's yelling at people's faces and shit. Like, I want to see that. Yeah, like, I want to see the Joel Embiid that was getting people to fight him and shit, like, early on, like, in his career.
And I also got to ask you now.
He was getting in your head that bad. I want to see that guy.
I got to ask you now. So we've seen over the last week both LeBron and Anthony Davis is locked down. We've seen Westbrook get traded to Washington. Where will James Harden end up before the trade deadline? Because he ain't finishing the season as a Houston Rocket. Let's be honest. Are they going to try to unite them out there in LA? Are somebody like the Nets are going to be able to get the swoop in and make a run here in the East?
Harden's going to go someplace like a big market, the Clippers, something like that. I don't see him. Like, I don't see a trade to a place where it's not at least a lateral move. Like Houston, it's not a huge basketball market, but it's at least a market that you look at and you're like, it's always been a fun basketball market, right? It's always been at least competitive with free agents and shit like that, even going back as far as, Charles Barkley getting traded there back in the day and them trying to put Pippen in and guys like that. So Dwight Howard signed there at one point. So it's not New York or LA or a market like that, but it's not too far off. If he's getting traded to a place, it'll be, Atlanta, Miami, the Clippers. If it's not a big market like New York or something like that, the only other markets I could see like Atlanta, shit like that. Miami maybe, but I don't even think Miami would want him because I don't think Jimmy Butler would want to play with him. Like and I think Spoelstra and all that, they look at the chemistry of that team and they're like, the last thing we need is a guy that's going to come in here and chuck up 30 shots and not play any defense. That'll really piss a lot of people off on this team, and it would piss a lot of people off. It would piss Jimmy Butler off, Tyler Hero. A lot of people on that team, like, you're going to stunt the growth of that team in some way. So I don't know if it would be them, but a market like that, obviously, you would think everybody in the NBA is going to try to at least insert themselves in some way into the conversation for a James Harden sweepstakes, right? Like, they're going to at least pick up the phone and call Houston and be like, "Hey, what's the deal?" Like, nothing. There's no deal with you. Like, no chance of anything happening now. But at least they might have had at least we picked up the phone and tried, type of thing.
Well, the Snap got a point here. They got a point. He has
that's not bad, especially with Chris Paul there and Devin Booker. I could see, but I don't know.
I say it's more likely he doesn't go big market. I still think that they're still looking to bring somebody in there.
Like, what's up with that deal? Like, does he have there's not a no trade or anything in it, right?
I'm not sure what that.
That's what I wasn't sure if there was a no trade clause in or anything like that, which would obviously affect things, or if he maybe had the ability to veto a trade somewhere if he didn't like it. Like, no, not cool playing there, don't want to go there type of thing. But it's clear that he's already trying. I want to be traded, and he's already making it clear. Here's my preferred destinations type of thing. I don't know. I mean, if you're Phoenix. Yeah, I think it's obviously sexy on paper with Chris Paul and Devin Booker and James Harden, but is that really a winning combination of players? Hell, Paul and Harden have already played together, and it wasn't really a winning combination. So, and Devin Booker's a guy that likes to take a lot of shots. What's James Harden just going to be like? Like, I don't really know if that's the right. I get the idea of them trying to bring in a third star there. I just don't think that's the right guy. Like, to me, that doesn't make much sense. They would be better off, if anything, like Harden getting traded to LA with the Clippers and somehow Paul George ends up in Phoenix or something like that. Like, and you got three teams involved. Like, that's a very NBA type of deal right there. Harden ends up as the guy with the Clippers and somehow they trade, Paul George somewhere because, they need to find a third team to take him, and Phoenix comes into the equation because, him and Chris Paul used to play together, and all of a sudden you've got a 3-team trade, and everybody seems to get better out of it.
I know our boy Chris is going to be a little upset. We're going to have to cut the basketball a little short because it looks like our first guest is in the back. What's up, Sheena?
Hey, what's going on, brothers?
How's it going? How are you feeling today?
I'm tired, I'm sore, and I feel like shit, so it's fight week.
Like all of us, right? They're great.
Yeah, I'm just living the dream over here, man. I got my shaker bottle with my good shaky shit in it.
Yeah. I'm the one without the drink today. I'm normally the one with the drink. Look at that. But for our listeners, just so you know, we're being joined by our first guest of the evening. Good friend of mine. Me and Sheena go back a long time. Since 14, 15, something like that.
I don't know. I'm not even, after just like 3 years, it just keeps going.
And you're still friends with him after all this time?
I mean, he's all right people,
Okay. I thought maybe you were afraid that, like, hey, like, I'm worried about him, so I've got to make sure I stay in the picture just in case I can always okay.
No. He's cool. He's good people. He doesn't put ketchup on his eggs. He's fucking all right.
Oh, damn.
Don't even get me started with that. I want to strangle my son, dude. And she just brought it up. I'm going to strangle my son. He puts ketchup on everything.
I'm one of those people, Steven. So I guess I'm not cool with you guys.
Oh my God, dude! I'm
a catch up on everything person. I'm like Patrick Mahomes when it comes to that. Like catch up on eggs, catch up on everything.
Yeah, but obviously, fight week's coming up. You're bare knuckle boxing, another fun matchup. You've been making your rounds during media. You've been having a lot of things to say, about potential matchups that could happen with signed fighters, with how the things been going with the female side in sports as how it's presented to the general media public, etc. And then we see over the last 24 48 hours, Claressa Shields is going to be going to PFL and apparently thinks that she's going to get her black belt in 2 years. As soon as I seen this, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get Sheena's opinion on this.
I don't know. I think wasn't it like BJ Penn got his shit in like a couple months? His black belt.
But he was like an adaptly odd guy that just picked up things at an insane rate. Where
so does Claressa. She's like, you know what? She's actually not a bad grappler. I know she's been a boxer for a long ass time. But it's not like she's just jumping into this with like no experience or anything. Like she's doing jiu-jitsu tournaments and grappling tournaments, and she's been working with Cyborg for a long time. And then she went to Jackson Wink, and then she was down at ATT for a while too, down in Coconut Creek, Florida. That's where she lives now. She moved from Michigan, and she's got money, lots of people. We all know in sports, man, if you got the money, you get the best top of the notch training and everything you fucking want. So I think, and she's a phenomenal athlete. So I think she'll adapt very well. And there's currently really not that many tough people in her, and the featherweight division is as far as like worldwide. Okay,
it's pretty wide open, and when you look at it, when you look at women's MMA, and we're talking about like how the division, like you would have to probably say flyweight, strawweight is probably the deepest ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what we talk about globally. But when you talk about when you get into 35, 45 and above, it starts to thin out. And then we're receiving it now with Kayla Harrison. She just had another big fight, and everyone's sitting there saying this, and she wants to get active and get in there. And I've seen that she put out there she wants to catch weight at 50 with anybody, basically.
Right. Catch it. That's all good. If you're not like trying to build yourself up to, title contendership, you know what I mean? Catch it, whatever, man. Get your feet wet. Cyborg did that forever. And actually, Christine Cyborg is the reason why there's a featherweight division period, in the UFC. And, like I said, that division is not very deep at all.
If you really think about it in general, that division was in a lot of trouble for a long period of time. And until Cyborg made that conscious effort to continue to like a tree.
Fucking killing herself to, show Dana White and everybody else, hey man, this is a good division. And, it's stacked. And really Invicta saved her ass, because every single, featherweight, they had to come from Invicta, because actually, in my opinion, all the best featherweights in like worldwide division, they're all at fucking Bellator. Every one of them. You got Julia Butters over there. Cyborg's there right now too, and
even their young 45ers. That the list they have is insane.
It is. That's where the division's at, though. That's why the UFC that featherweight division. And it ain't nothing right now. You got Megan Anderson. You had Tanya Evinger, but she left, and it just keeps fluctuating. PFL kind of had it, but Kayla she just jumped ship, man. She's at Invicta right now. So
and I actually think that's gonna be the smooth transition to
she's gonna go to the UFC. Yeah, Kayla will go to the UFC. She's a fucking Olympian, you know what I mean? It's not you're an Olympian, okay? You're a fucking that is like,
and that's kind of one of the sad things. You're gonna miss that part of having Kayla there when you're trying to build up Claressa, when you have two Olympic level
gold medalist. This is that's top notch shit right there. I don't care what you fucking do. You could be a track star and then come over here and fucking play soccer and be the fucking. It's just Olympian athletes, collegiate athletes, I mean, they're just on a totally different level than, someone that, been going to karate since they were 2. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just a different platform. You can't fuck with Olympians, man. You can't do it. Ronda Rousey was an Olympian. Fucking Clarissa Shields is an Olympian. That's why she'll be good. Kayla's an Olympian.
I don't disagree with that. I just you just have to wonder how quick she's going to pick it up, and if she's and the fact that she's going to PFL and she's going to get she's probably going to get some favorable matchmaking initially to kind of
that girl's strapped. Have you seen her? Fuck, she'll beat your ass. She's fucking tough.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
For sure.
I think Zach's over here is honestly surprised of your bluntness because he's trying to restrain himself over here.
Oh yeah, nah, it's just that shit. You'll be all right.
People to curse more than I do. It really is like this. I mean, it's. I thought I cursed a lot. I'm usually getting yelled at for the language and like.
Hey. I was asking my manager before I went out. I'm like,
Steven, you need to on that are gonna make me look like hey.
As soon as she knew I was involved, she should have known everything was going to be fun. Come on.
Oh, I'm just myself, man. I mean, I'm Irish. I mean, we had swear words in our baby books and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I just saw you aggressively manhandle that water bottle over there, and I was scared for its safety. I was like, oh my god!
Listen. You do not want to mess with a fighter during fight week because that is literally the only thing that they're basically able to have that has any real taste to it.
Yeah. This isn't good. This is a bunch of powdered shit. Makes
Best
good.
interview we've done in a long time, Steven.
Oh man, like I said, it's gonna get more fun, especially with the message I just got from Vince with Chris about to come on and about.
Yeah, his big muscle ass shit. He should be able to fucking get that. They went in the damn ditch going like 102, being some assholes. Yeah, with his big muscle ass. I'm like, man, just fucking throw that vehicle on his fucking shoulder and drag that bitch out, man. He's like, He-Man. He's like, no neck, motherfucker. He's a big old tough guy.
Speaking of no neck mofos, we just seen Yoel Romero get his release. And you think that's a direct line to the bare knuckle boxing as it is right now? He's kind of made a lot of people have hinted at it. Both in his circle in the media in the past. You're somebody who's kind of well entrenched in bare knuckle boxing at this point in time. What is your initial thoughts?
I think fucking Feldman will do whatever the fuck he wants. Really, I mean that's one of his great deals. I mean, he's brings in this awesome talent. I mean, it just really depends on what David wants. Don't know. If he wants them, I bet your ass will probably fucking get them. You know what I mean? I like a lot of the upcoming talent. A lot of these, not so popular regional dudes that are, crashing on the scene and making a name for herself. I think,
like a lot
if they're a high promotion, I'm sure, bringing some of these big names and shit, bring, some already fans of those people over. But at the same time, too, it's a new sport. It's a new promotion, and promote and bring up your own stars like these other people did instead of just kind of recruiting. Does that make sense?
I mean, like I said, that's why we're starting to see a lot of these guys coming out of the Total Line series and stuff like that. So you're gonna see, like, that's one of the things, like, Dave Mitre, he gave himself a line of young upcoming talent as he's starting to build this over the last few years. So I mean, you got to give your hats off to him there. And I'm with you with some of that young talent that we're not going to know about. Those are going to be the guys or girls that we're going to find out more about over these next few years. But like we know how this game works better than most. We know we've been around long enough. You need some of that big name to get some of that the non-hardcores to tune in. Just like we just seen Tyson Jones. They just pulled 1.2 mil.
Yeah, that was fun. I watched that. That was great. Yo, Nate's still in the fucking ring, yo.
I knew you were gonna say it. Now, what do you take of Logan as it is? You know, he's got some things going on with you know, he's been very vocal things. He's calling out Connor and all this. And I've actually seen, I think it was one of the hockey enforcers started calling him out because he was.
Dude, I'm sorry, Logan, but a hockey enforcer will fuck you up. Because they have trained at our gyms and they're mean, especially if it's a Canadian.
It was. I forget what he was. Definitely one of the Toronto Maple Leafs, if I remember correctly.
Shit, remember that badass fight? Oh fuck! It was Colorado Avalanche and the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh, that was the classic. It was a classic draw.
I wish I would have went. It was because I'm originally from Michigan. Oh, that was great. They were like scraping blood off the ice that had like frozen on that bitch. You know what I mean?
My favorite was when Ty Domi pulled the guy into the penalty box and beat the shit out of him. That was pretty fun.
They should let him fight more. God, make hockey great again.
They're always messing with you, Mr. Burr.
I look like the Undertaker with an Amish twist. Is that what he said? I'm not even sure what the hell people are talking about anymore. Like these insults are just.
His mustache is gone.
Oh man! Oh, and it's about to get more interesting because I just see Sarro pop in the back. Oh boy, do I even want to do this?
What's good? Is someone trying to see Harden come to Phoenix? Did I read that right? Yeah, you read that right.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sarah's in the back. Let me see what Chris is doing since he's got a lot of fun going on right now.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Hey,
are you in a ditch still?
I'm with Bellator heavyweight Ras Hilton. We just went off the road, off the highway. We're lucky to be alive right now, dude. We got the cops behind us. We're in a ditch. We just went like 300 feet sliding off the road, and we stopped 8 feet from that boulder. That's my life right there. That's what almost kept me from making the fight this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Almost.
So you're literally 4 feet from having your fight canceled. Like
that's how I look at it. I mean, I would have missed out on a bunch of other things, you know, life. But yeah, we almost just died. We're lucky to be alive right now. That was scary as shit, man. We just froze up and we both just like, whoa, this is happening, waiting to flip. And then we just rode the wave and we stopped about 8 feet from a boulder that's directly in front of me. I mean, this is like,
you gotta ride the half pipe. Just follow the ditch. That's all you do.
What's up, guys? How's it going? My life's crazy.
You want to have going through the windshield, your nose would stop the impact.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too.
We'll see you in a couple days. I got a spinning back kick waiting for you. No, I love you. I love it.
And that's what you call intermanagement, brother and sisterly love.
Yes, all the above.
Aren't they so cute?
What
can you do?
Yeah. No. We're good though.
Yeah,
here's our tow truck. You guys are getting the action shots right here.
Yeah, exactly.
We're literally in a fucking ditch up in Russia right now.
Who needs Channel 3 News? We got Chris giving us live action breaks right now.
Steven, you weren't lying. You said this interview. I said this is the greatest interview in A2D history, and you said it's about to get even better. I mean, I don't know what's going to top this.
You can't beat this right now.
I don't know. Like, listen,
It's gonna be great.
You want to watch us get pulled out? Literally?
Hey, why not?
Yeah, you let them on the air.
Literally, I can't get out my door. I literally can't. We can't get out. Like this is the real deal.
Whoever the officer is, they ask him if he wants to come on the radio and be a part of all this. We're asking the sports.
Yeah, this is like as real as it gets. It's crazy, man. But yeah, I'm lucky to be alive. This is all just ditch right here. We went 300 feet and did not flip. That's a fucking miracle. But I think I gotta get out right now. I think I gotta get out, but I gotta climb out. So let's do this on fucking live.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get on my side, man.
All right, I'm coming. I'm climbing out of this bitch.
That's what he said.
Hey, can you?
You like in the Arctic?
I'll sit right in the car. Oh fuck yeah, we get to stay right in the car. No, this is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So.
I don't know, man. I don't trust it.
This is Maine for you. We don't even have to get out, bud. We just stay in this bitch and they'll tow us. We'll ride the waves right back out, bud.
You never know what's going to happen when you tune in.
Hey,
to
listen,
radio.
Make sure that fucker's in neutral so you ain't ripping the axles out the bottom of it, fuckers.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be my luck. This isn't even our car. My friend's car. We got to call her. She's getting us towed out. Fucking there's cars all over the road though up here, I guess. Where the first cop that pulled over just said
So
that I'm not to wait on AAA because he had to keep running because cars literally you're getting it live right here, bud. Crazy. This is nuts.
I got to go to the next guy because you got a tow hook on these Audis that you screw into the bumper.
I'm gonna mute you for a minute here, Chris. We can talk to Sheena for a minute.
I thought the tow truck driver was about to come on. I was like, oh, okay, we're getting the tow truck driver's opinion. What's going on here? What's his name?
Who you got in the fight, Mr. Tow Truck Driver? Let's hear your input.
Of course, I went to franchise quarterback.
You said this is one of the greatest ones. I don't know, like the Ken Shamrock 110% rant was pretty good. I mean, we can't take that one from our wrestling guys. That was pretty fun.
It's better than Ken Shamrock. Let me tell you.
All right, hold on. He's talking again. Let's see what we got.
Fucking Ken Shamrock.
That was a fun interview. You should have been more there for that one.
I like Ken Shamrock. What happened? Tell me about it.
No, we just had him on when the whole COVID thing and everything shut down, we were doing a whole lot of interviews, athlete specials here on HUD, and I had Ken on. Actually, it's a funny story. I've booked Ken for 3 different interviews on 3 different platforms and never interviewed him once.
Yeah,
but he was
that's what works sometimes. That makes it that much special when you finally do get to him.
Yeah, exactly. So when he was on with the guys and they were talking about his book and everything, and they were going off about some things, and he just went off. Yeah, he did a book with Snowden. John
did
Snowden.
he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Snowden.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's on.
Wrote that for him. That motherfucker ain't writing nothing. I know Ken for years. I know Ken. I know his wife Tanya. Fucking, I've known those guys for a long time, man.
now let's calm down a little bit there, Chris. I got to ask you. Some breaking news happened recently. Romero has been released from the UFC.
I saw that. What happened? Because he made $25 million off that botched piss test lawsuit, and I knew that was going to happen. You're worth $25 million. You're going in there with tough fights. Every fight's a tough fight with that dude. How long is he going to want at his age keep putting up with that when you've done it, man? That's my take. But I don't know. Was there more to it?
I don't know what's the backstory as why they both kind of parted ways, but I just say it's an exciting thing for combat sports because we'll get an opportunity to see him do other things. Wondering about you, man. If he gets signed to bare-knuckle boxing, is that a fight you'd like to have?
I would throw my phone before. Yes, I would do a triple backflip for that fight. Are you kidding me? I'm not in this thing to fucking to pick and choose who I fight. I'm in this my boss picks who I fight. If he says Yoel Romero, fuck, I would do a cartwheel down my front steps. Yeah, I would love that fight. Yeah, I want real fights. You know what I mean? I'm 32. I'm not in this thing to have any regrets. And so my last 2 opponents, that's who I was. They told me those are the guys you're fighting, and so I'm fighting them. But I want the best out there, man. That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? And
thank you, pay me.
This is crazy right now. We are literally getting fucking towed like a roller coaster.
Are they finally pulling your ass out?
What?
Fuck, man.
Oh, okay. No video.
He's at himself, not you.
No,
podcast.
I'm in an interview.
He's got to point it at himself. He's in an interview.
I'm
not pointing it at you.
I'm in an interview.
No,
I'm in an interview.
He's in an interview right now.
He didn't shave today. He's upset. He doesn't want to be on.
Tell him that's okay. It's a requirement on this show. You've got to have a beard if you want to be on this show. So it's perfect.
Exactly right.
Oh yeah, no, I know. That's why when I saw Sheena on there, I was like, "What the? You broke your rules. Need facial hair to be on this show. Everyone's got a beard."
Just need to look at her. She's like, "I'm all left out. We need to send her a Santa beard."
I was so happy to see Sheena on there. I'm happy to see her in Mississippi. Last time I was there, she had to get a kink out of my neck. I was like the day before the fight. I'm like, this is normal, right? And I can't turn my neck, and she helped out a lot. It was good. Actually, it was a massive help because I was worried. I couldn't even like turn my head.
I'm like, what the fuck are you hiding under there? You're like, no, this is not.
Like grabbed my ears and stepped on the back of my head and just yanked me around, and it was perfect.
Your neck.
Dude, that guy got so upset at the fact that I turned the camera at him. Holy shit. He was hurt deeply by that. I think he probably lied to his wife on where he's at tonight or something. He did not want to be on camera. But
I'm gonna cheat on the missus with my.
We are almost out right now. I don't know if you can see that boulder right there. That was my that was us. That was us right there. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, those don't move very well, brother.
Those don't move well. No, they don't.
At all.
No.
Yep.
All right.
So
we're getting all. Yeah. So what's up, guys? Ask me some questions. Keep me occupied.
Exactly. So, what are your thoughts on this fight this weekend, man? I know you made some you've had some success already here in bare-knuckle. Some big knockout already. Like you said, you're not looking for any of these hand-picked fights or anything like that. You want the best of the best. Is it ultimately to kind of make a run and go get the title here for bare-knuckle boxing within the next year?
That's it, man. That's the only reason why I'm here. I'm here to be the best at something. I'm ranked 4th in the world at light heavy, 5th at heavy, and that's for a reason. And we protect that. We stand by that. I train with nothing but high level, high caliber athletes. My coach is an Olympic alternate. He's a former professional. He ran one of the gnarliest gyms in New England under Marcus Davis, the Irish Hand Grenade. He was ranked 8th in the UFC at one point. We're about to lose our ass into this thing. No, I'm here for the best. I'm excited for this fight. I'm here to challenge myself, and this guy's a challenge. I wish you guys could see how fucking insane it is. I'm giving an interview right now. Literally, we're hanging off a cliff by a string.
Not that much of
but I like it. I like it, so we're gonna go with it. No, dude, I am all about a challenge. The more pressure, the better. The hotter the fire, I'm jumping in head first because I'm not here to waste any fucking time. So when I go out there, you're seeing pain channeled in a fucking way that's so powerful. I fly to that fucking ring, and it doesn't matter who the fuck's in there. They're getting it, and they're fucking getting it.
How do you feel about fighting the TRT poster child next week?
Oh man,
I don't give a fuck. They're all getting it. It doesn't matter, man. The way I fight, no one's ever walked through me in my entire fucking life. All said and done, no one's ever manhandled me, and I train with some bad motherfuckers. 2-time WBC world champ Chad Dawson. I've been in the trenches in Gleason's gym, going in there. You can look at my record, or you can come fight me and make an assumption either way. But I'd go with the number 2 there. Don't underestimate me, motherfuckers. I'm telling you, you guys are in for a fucking fight next weekend. It's a real fight between 2 grown ass men. It's no men separating the boys. It's gonna be a boy being separated from a man's body. Is what you're gonna see. It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Sheena's already brought up the TRT thing with your upcoming opponent here. Is that just one of these things where it's just more fuel to the fire? Just another reason to turn this guy's lights out?
It doesn't. None of that is a factor of who's going to win and lose next week, and that doesn't play a role. It's who was put on this earth for this purpose. This guy's fighting the tide, thinking that this is what he's supposed to be doing with life. This is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. My square peg fits right in the square hole, and he's trying to jam a fucking square peg into a circular hole. That bitch ain't fitting. It's time to move on. That's where I come in.
Let's make the circle bigger.
He's man. Hey, as he's trying to say, he's trying to teach these people. Listen, I belong here.
I'm just not afraid of anybody, you know. So all the stuff that he's saying, he's just reminding himself of all of my pros, and he's having to believe in himself. It's the same thing Ollie did. He admitted it. You know, they ask why'd you talk so much shit about all your opponents to say such nasty things? Ollie said, because I was afraid. I wanted them to be more afraid. I've never been afraid of a motherfucker in my life. That's how I was born. It's not in me. So there's gonna be no tension. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm a little riled up because we're getting towed out of a fucking thing, but
it's like the longest tow in Maine history.
That is my car, but I don't know what's on it right now.
Hold on 1 second. What do you need?
$250.
Hold on a second. We got to pay. Now we got to pay to get towed out $250.
You have to pay. You have to pay for. You took his picture, Chris. You turned around and put the camera on him. Now you got to pay.
All right, 164.
Tell her he'll get $100 in a video.
We're figuring this out. I'm gonna interview right now.
We got to get out of here. We got 3 more accidents up here. We got to go to. I don't want to die out here.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
Shit. I think I gotta let you guys go at this time.
All right, Chris, thanks for stopping in with us. Be safe, brother. I'll catch up with you.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank God I'm alive. I'll be back on after this win. We'll do this again, okay, guys?
Definitely.
Thank you. Sorry for the circumstances.
Hey, man,
sorry.
don't worry, man. You be safe.
Apparently, it's.
Thank you, guys.
I'm dying, Chris.
I want to know.
So funny, they got like all these weird accents. Like Chris sounds like he's from Canada, and then like the tow truck driver sounds like he's from fucking Jersey.
No.
I don't want to die on the radio. I got the 2 youths.
That guy was.
2 youths in the automobile.
This guy's all pissed off at us. We're filming an online radio interview. Well, I've got more accidents to get to. Shut the fuck up, Mr. Tow Truck Driver. All pissed off at us like it's our fucking problem.
I fuck you. I got on safety vest. God damn it. Shut your fucking whore mouth. That's what
hey, man. Like I said, there's definitely not a nothing is missed on A today. We always have some fun.
Big time by a tow truck driver, Steven. No, we just let Dave, the tow truck driver, big time us.
Well, Chris let it happen. Anyways, all right. So Sheena, here we go. We got your fight. we got Chris out of the way and all that fun dancing and all.
I love Chris. He's good.
Oh man. But now we got your fight coming up here. You know, you're obviously you weren't happy with how some of the marketing's been with some of these fights.
Well, I mean, first off, I was fucking pissed off because like I wanted to fight this like super scrappy Latino chick. Her name's Dina Dime, back in Michigan. Like we've had 2 fights before. I beat her once, she beat me, and both of them were fucking fight of the night, and they were a dog fight. And that girl's pro now, and she can come over to bare-knuckle. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Like her pro record's not good enough. I'm like, what the fuck? This is fucking some hypocritical fucking hypothesis shit. Because Britton Hart just fought a 0-4 Amy that never even won a fucking fight, making her pro debut, and it took her to round 4 to finish her. Fuck that. That is not. I was pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't fight her because her pro record's not good enough. This girl didn't even have a record. Nothing. There was nothing there. Like, oh, well, she's got a picture with the belt on. Yeah, it was a fucking amateur kickboxing event in a fucking high school gymnasium with like 5 people. Fuck off. You know? And then finally, they find me someone, you know, and it's my friend. It's my friend. Like this girl, like fucking manager. I've been in her corner, fucking coach, fucking all that shit, you know. And they're like, well, you know, she wants to get in and jump in, man. I mean, pandemic's fucking killing all of us. A lot of people are, you know.
Yeah, you're not helping us either. Dancing around, giving us these nonsense matchups either.
Yeah, right? It's fucking Christmas. I mean, shit. I mean. It's like, fuck, man. I don't get the fucking scrappy dog fight. Like, I want to have one more of those before I'm done fighting. You know what I mean? No, but here, you can fight your fucking fine-ass homie. I'm like, fuck. I guess. You know, man, that girl's finer than fucking dolphin's hair. You know?
Wait, dolphins have hair?
No, they don't.
But she's making me really want to watch this fight.
that.
Well, no, listen.
No. Me and Jenny respect each other so much. Yeah. We will not take it easy on each other. We will beat the fucking living fuck out of each other come next week. You know what I mean?
I don't know what it is about two chicks like beating the crap out of each other, but like it's like it gets me like I'm more entertained by this idea than I am watching two guys fight.
See, you don't know Sheena well enough that just turned her blood right there because she did that. Like, listen.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And the marketing part of it, right? All right,
yes, okay. Bring it back. We have to bring it back in.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was like, squirrel. All right. So, back to, how it's being marketed. Okay. Obviously, my opponent's fucking beautiful. All right. She's beautiful, but she is also a very phenomenal athlete, and she works really hard and she doesn't market herself that way. She doesn't, build up Instagram and this and that and, get fight opportunities and get attention. She doesn't try to do that anyway. I mean, she was posting pictures of herself or, because she's a model too. She's, she used to do a lot of modeling before she went into, really started fighting. So, I mean, she's got a lot of awesome images, out there in the interwebs. And, but she doesn't promote herself that way. Well, there's been promotional posts coming up to the fight and it's her in a bra and, some sexy bottoms with the hand wraps on and shit like that. And man, the fucking internet trolls come out. Every fucking show they do this. You get one picture like, ooh, I'd rather see her on Pornhub, or does she have an OnlyFans? And you fucking creepy vain motherfuckers. God, go creep on somebody else. Get off, Jesus, it's just.
And the worst part about it is not just that aspect of it, because like I said, what we're talking about with Clarissa jumping over, it wasn't just about opportunities and stuff like that. The fact that the whole sexism part of how things are promoted with high level female athletes when we're talking combat sports.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them, if they want to promote themselves that way, the females, if they want to do a fucking all part or whatever, it really helps get some extra fans, especially if you're a fucking shitty fighter. Hey, that's one good way to get attention. Hey, here's a nipple. You know what I mean? It fucking works. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But, for those that don't necessarily like to put that image out or, that persona out, because we have a younger generation that's looking at us right now.
Why put somebody in an uncomfortable position that they're not?
It's just like at what point, because it's always a sexual type picture. And I get it, sex sells, but just for fucking once, can you share like a picture of us punching somebody, and it's always just like, oh, well, you're not a respected athlete like all these men are that we post all of these, fight announcements. It's dudes punching each other or like in a ring or, with their hands raised or shit like that. And if it's a girl, it's, a picture of them that they took off their fucking Instagram, a picture of them at the beach in a bikini. Oh, this girl's fighting. It's like, God damn it, you sexist motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
And then it goes to the other side of it. You kind of mentioned it there where you're starting to see a lot of these female athletes are starting to pop up with these OnlyFans accounts because that's apparently.
If they want to do that, want to hustle, that's fucking cool. All right. I got nothing against anybody that wants to promote themselves that way. You know what I mean? But it just kind of sucks when somebody else promotes you and puts attention out there that you ain't really trying to get. They don't understand. Like, yeah, it's good. And, you get the troll comment. Those are fans. All right. Oh, no. I'd like to fight her, blah, 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 dumb shit like that. But they don't understand.
I could beat her up. Like,
Oh, just shit like that. But another thing they don't understand is, okay, you put that kind of image out there, millions see it, right? Okay. It's not, we're not just getting tagged in comments and shit. These motherfuckers are hitting up our inboxes. They are DMing us. They are like, they will fucking internet stalk us. They will do public searches on us. They will start commenting on our YouTube videos and just totally, completely inappropriate shit, man. We get creepers. We get guys wanting to, pay us money to kick them in the balls and shit. I fucking swear to God, these people are out there, bro.
Yeah. No, my God, Zach, the stories that I used to hear, like, dude, like some of the MMA shows I used to do, the conversations I've had with some of the female fighters, dude, that is literally the most common one that comes off that guys wanted to be kicked in the nuts by one of these female athletes.
Yeah. Yeah, like
apparently that's a thing.
I don't fucking know, man. It's their fucking kink or shit. But no, but we and or we'll just get haters like these guys, like, oh yeah, you're a piece of shit woman, and da da da. Women don't belong in the ring, and da 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 da. It's just like we get fucking harassed and we get creeped on and just absolutely inappropriate shit. We have to really be careful about what's able to be viewed on our social media. Like they'll fucking message family members and shit, trying to trick them into like you're one of your friends, trying to figure out where you live and shit. Dude, I fucking swear to God, it's like that. And you know, I really think that some of them,
and what you're touching on is a lot of reasons why a lot of like higher up professional athletes and you know, people involved in film and TV keep that part of their life private, why they have different
absolutely
needs.
I do too. You will never see me. I mean, very rarely, like I'll post something about my mom or you know, very rarely like a picture of my kid or something. I make sure
I don't even
like I have to turn off my location when I take pictures. That's how fucking crazy it's gotten. Because like on your phone, if you have your location on and you take a picture and say you upload it on Facebook, even if it's public, it could be a profile picture, right? They can take that timestamp. There's a program where they can take that picture and it'll give the fucking GPS of real close vicinity of where that picture was taken, the address, the state, the time, fucking everything like that. And these fucking people can find you. And I know because it's happened to me. I had a stalker for fucking 2 years. Weird ass motherfucker used to send me like love letters and shit. And oh no, it was fucking crazy. And then he started like breaking into my house when I was at work, right? I didn't even fucking know it. My dad had to put up trail cams, so I was trying to figure shit out. This fucking weird fucker would like go in my house and do my dishes and rearrange fucking knickknacks on the shelves and shit, feed my fucking cat, scoop the litter box, and just hang out in my house and then leave before I got home from work. And like I'm like wondering why my shit's moved around. Fucking creepy, dude. Like I started missing clothes. Oh yeah. I had to catch
sell the house.
Now
I'm gonna have to go to work, y'all. No, I'm serious. I gotta go like work fucking 5 to 2, 3 something in the fucking morning.
All right.
But yeah. Watch how you promote your females, you know, and just keep them in mind, you know. Yeah, sure, you're trying to sell a fight and this and that, but you know, try to keep this in mind sometimes too. I mean, maybe put something awesome out there that, you know, gives us a little bit of equality, you know, as far as, you know, being promoted, like, you know, like we're legitimate. All right. We're legitimate athletes. Okay. We work hard just like all these men. We train in, day out. We fight hard. Okay. I mean, if you've ever seen a female fight, they're nonstop action, man. You know what I mean? So just maybe help promote us.
Now, like I said, you're probably after this one, like you said, you're probably looking for about one more, and then that'll probably
Well, I want that Paige Van Zandt fight, man. I'm gonna tell him like, man, I will fucking punch her in the titty. Wouldn't that be great if it went flat? I was telling him, oh shit, I'm like, yeah, what if it like went flat and saggy and she'd be like walking in circles? Could you imagine the memes? Oh my god. That would be great.
This is why I need to watch. Like, you're literally over here threatening me, like, I'm gonna punch your titty and it's gonna go flat. And like, I have to see that now. Like, I don't believe this is. Oh my god!
Fuck that bitch. Fuck her and her $1 million contract. We've been grinding our asses off here for years.
But we also know a lot of that money is also put into promotion and stuff for bare knuckle boxing too.
Fuck her. $1 million. $1 million of my fucking white Irish ass. Fuck off with that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, she got a 500 record from the fucking UFC, never had to work, and fucking got money like a motherfucker. Okay? She ain't got no kids. What's her fucking excuse? You suck. You suck. You were fucking protected for so fucking long. You think you're going to come over here and just tiptoe and get an easy fight, you fucking cunt. It ain't fucking happening. You know what I mean? You want to make fun of my record? All right, I'm a mom. I had cancer. I have fucking 2 kids. And I got to fucking work 2 jobs and shit. All right? If I didn't have to do all this shit and had all that, I would be in the UFC too. Except they want to fucking cut my ass because I don't suck. Fucking sorry, bitch. So, yeah, that's my feelings on that. But I got to go to work.
All right, Sheena. Appreciate the sound bites. Appreciate the love. Appreciate everything. Best of skill in the fight. Hopefully, you and Jenny throw down like I know y'all gonna do. You know,
yeah, we're gonna beat the shit out of each other. It's gonna be great. Make sure you download the BKTV app and subscribe, man. I mean, I got a link. I'll be sharing it on my Facebook again, but it's like $3.99 a month, super cheap, and that's all the pay-per-view. I mean, it's none of it's pay-per-view. That's all it costs to watch these shows compared to, it used to be like $30-$40 a month to buy this shit on pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And it's all your contents there, and you get free replays for life. And they got like behind the scenes shit, and Toe the Line is on there too. So check it out. You can download the app for free, and then you just subscribe and sign up. You can do it at Google Play, Apple Store. I got one on my Fire Stick. You know what I mean? So it's good shit. But all right,
everyone.
I can fucking talk all day, but I gotta go. I gotta go to work and give people alcohol. I can't drink, so I will.
Sounds absolutely depressing.
It is fucking horrible.
All right, Sheena. Really appreciate the time. Best of skill. Make sure you send Vince and Chris. My thanks. My best of skill for both of you guys, and have a good evening.
Shit, man. Chris is probably still in the fucking ditch with that slow ass Jersey fucking tow truck driver.
Dave had him arrested.
Right. Oh, fuck me. All right. I got to go to work. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Sheena. You have a good one.
Deuces.
All right, everyone. That was our guest. That was Sheena.
I'm still not happy. God damn it. We were between the two of them. It was the best. Like, literally, we were like ready to it was going to be the best interview in 18. It was getting there. Like, we were this close. And then fucking Dave, the tow truck driver, had to kill everything. I got more accidents to get to, so you guys got to get me off the air. Like, who gives fuck you, Dave? We're over here trying to put together content and entertain people. Dave's over here miserable as hell.
There's another one of the first here on ATD Radio. We were part of a live towing. Apparently, Chris was inches from death off a cliff. That he was.
Could you imagine if they were live with us as they started going into the ditch, and spinning, oh my God, could you imagine if they were live as that was going on?
That'd have been nuts.
I mean, it's perfect that we had them on this show because, we might as well just change the name of this show to Shenanigans because that's all it is every single week with me and you. There's a bunch of shenanigans. And, usually it's me. I'm usually the one that's the reason that we go completely off the rails. Today, I had nothing. It wasn't even me. Chris was in a ditch by the time he got on live. He was like, well, here it is. The show was completely, every week at some point, we're off the rails. That was the moment this week that it got completely off the rails. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, between Chris and Sheena probably fulfilled our fulfillment of curses for the month of December, I believe.
Used them all. We don't have no more. We're just I don't have to use any for the new year.
Facebook might have us on banishment if we don't drop any more curses this month because of Sheena.
That's the worst part about it is you were like, oh, this would be so great. This is one of those sound bites that we need to get out there, but we can't put it on Facebook because it would have to be censored every half a second. You get a 30-second clip and 25 seconds of it is bleeping her out.
Unless you come up with a good bleeper to kind of work into what she's saying and make it funny.
We'll have to get Brodo is the master of all that. We'll have to get on him about it. He might be listening. If you're listening, Ryan, now you know your task for this week.
Whether he completes it or not is another story, right?
That's up to him, I guess. But there was some good stuff in there. If he can't find a minute of that, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. But obviously no, that both of these both Sheena and Chris have absolutely fun fights. Just why I asked them to have him on. Sheena and Jenny were really close. I totally forgot that Sheena managed her. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, and it's one of these things where that should be a really fun fight. And I don't know if anyone has seen Chris fight before. If you haven't tuned into him beforehand and you're running across him because of this interview, please make sure you go check that out because my man is fireworks. That dude is scary in that ring, without a doubt. And
I don't know how much.
You don't know how much what?
Oh, I was going in and out, so I thought you were done, and then you popped back on. So I'm sorry, I cut you off a little bit, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
I don't know how much his fight's going to cost this weekend. Who's he fighting?
What's the figure? It's Josh Harris or something like that.
Well, I don't know how much it's going to cost for him to fight Josh, whoever he is, but I'll know you what, I'll pay $25, maybe even like $30 to watch him kick the hell out of Dave, the tow truck driver's ass.
Yeah, he's fighting Josh Burns.
Okay, well, however much I have to pay to watch him kick Josh Burns' ass, I'll double it to watch him kick Dave, the tow truck driver's ass. Okay, that's.
Or what about how much to see him to destroy the rock or the boulder?
How about watch him slam Dave, the tow truck driver, up against the boulder? How about that?
Oh man, Dave, the tow truck driver is going to get no love from Zach moving forward. Tow truck drivers across the world
he was
just
not
know.
About it. Like you could have at least been a good sport. You could have was hi everybody. Like no, this asshole was like I've got places to be. Like fuck off. I'm dead serious. They're like this guy. Who does he think he is, Steven?
Totally disregarding of the interview process.
I mean, good Lord. We're over here creating content for people around the world, entertaining the masses, and this dude's over here just like, he don't care. You're like, fuck them and their feelings.
But yeah, I mean, that definitely should be a fun one. As they were saying, make sure you download that app, $3.99. You basically get access to everything, the fight library, the upcoming event, all that. So. But
sounds good.
I think we could get back. I think we can get back into some basketball since Sheena was a little bit early, and what other matchups are you really going to be looking forward to from those Sixers? I know, like I was already telling you about we got the home with both. Was it the Hornets and Miami that first month and a half? But
I'll probably be looking forward to whenever they play Orlando because that means they're like 30 minutes from me and I might have a chance to go watch them play.
That would be December 31st. You doing it for New Year's?
Oh, good Lord. No, I don't. What? It needed to be like a few months from now so I could like come up with the money and shit. Like, what?
All right, let me see when they get home. Let's see when they play them again. Yeah, sorry, brother.
Next year.
Yeah. That was the only time they're gonna be down in they're gonna be down there for you to watch them.
I don't really know if I'm looking forward to any particular games with them. I'm looking forward
January 7th against the Nets should be fun just to kind of see how that's going to play out.
Of course. A lot of those matchups will be fun.
Then they get they get 2 home against Boston and then 2 away against the Pistons.
Like all that to me is just like that's just all like okay, like great, like all that's extra. Like I'm like my anxiety isn't
what about
January
January 27th here at home against the Lakers?
Oh, of course, that's an awesome game. Yeah, sure. That's what it's hard for me to tell you like particular games I'm looking forward to, a particular match. The Lakers won't on, obviously. LeBron comes to town, and yeah, you want to kick LeBron's ass because he's LeBron. Sure, that's fun, and the AD and Embiid battle there that'll probably be taking place. But my anxiety with this team is just more like I don't, they're going to play a lot of good teams this year, but we're probably one of the better teams in basketball. We're probably on paper and should match up. We're going to be better than most teams we're matching up against. I'm more anxious about.
I would have to say probably those Atlanta. You have to see how Atlanta's going to match up and play this year. I think they're one of those teams that you probably have to look out.
Like I guess my point is our talent, like our roster is one thing, like but we're not going to be playing like this roster and what you saw out of this roster under Brett Brown is going to be completely different compared to what you're going to see out of this roster under Doc Rivers. I feel like so that's more where great. Playing the Lakers is a great matchup. You know what's better? Joel Embiid dunking on Anthony Davis and then like grabbing his crotch in his face afterwards like he's Reggie Miller taunting Spike Lee. Like that's I need the attitude. I need some of the the bravado and all that goes with it. Like, I want to see us kick teams' asses and then let them know about it. Hey, we're really good. We're going to kick your ass, and then we're going to let you know how much we just kicked your ass. Like, that's what championship teams do. And I feel like for us, we've got like some dogs on this team, like guys that, like, if you like coach them up right, you can get that out of them. Like, you can get that bulldog mentality out of them. You know what I mean? Where they just they want to grab you by the throat and choke the life out of you. I want to see us do that to teams. I don't want to just see us like play those teams. I want to see us like do that to these teams we talk about.
Mr. Golf Wang was asking us about the Packers game.
Yeah, what he said they're going to beat the Eagles. Yeah, I didn't respond because I thought that was like what were you trying to get somebody to disagree with you? Like, nobody on this panel is going to disagree with that. So,
yeah, but I'm with you there. That Lakers game, if we're off lockdown, should be fun. It's again the end of January.
Lord Walker, he says I'll come back for the Lakers game if we still need a third star. I thought he was trying to say he was going to be the fourth star. I was like, okay, wait a minute. What are you trying to make yourself into? Okay, no, I get what he's saying now.
I mean, isn't that what you have? Maury brought Curry in for, I believe, right? He's
not a star. What you've got is two stars and a bunch of really good.
Yeah, but he's not. Your third star is Tobias Harris. You already knew that. People have to accept that, regardless if I like it or not. Either if I have to accept it, you have to accept it. So
you got a couple young guys on this team that you look at and say, hey, if those guys take step forwards, they could turn into possibly, like
I said, a lot of people really love. I know Maury and Doc were really loving Shake. A lot of players that came in were really liking him too as well. So you have to see how that goes. But I mean, you have to hope that you get some at least moderate production out of your first rounder this year. Hope somebody like Matisse kind of takes a step forward.
Yeah, that was Matisse Thybulle was the guy I was thinking of. That good two-way player. If he could take even a bigger step offensively this year, he's a guy that you really, really like what his game is and how it matches up with the rest of this team.
Now, I can't necessarily agree with this one here that Joe and Ben aren't closers yet, because it always seems like they'll be up 10, 15, 20 points at halftime, and next thing you know, we're in the fourth quarter and it's a 5-point game.
Yeah, I contributed that more to Brett Brown. I feel, I don't know, just in my mind, maybe that is, but for me, that was more of a Brett Brown thing, finding a way to let teams back in the game consistently. I don't know. I thought the guy you brought up, Maxey, the rookie that we drafted. I think like he's the name you're looking at and saying he's going to be the guy that develops into the third star for you. He's got that Mamba mentality, right? He's not
just that. Like listen, like you hear what a lot of people are sitting there saying, and even as soon as he was drafted, you seen his coach come out there like the Sixers just got to steal the draft. I don't know what anyone.
I think he's got star potential already.
And there's one of the things that we talked about is that some teams on the back end of this draft are going to get lucky because of how everything played out because of COVID this year. How like some of these guys who did declare are going to wind up flying around, maybe not go as high as they want. Some guys are going to find some of that talent later in the draft that would probably be mid to first round, but because of COVID, people not going for workouts and not being everything traditional, I think the reason why we have a situation where we have this kid in our building right now.
Yeah, hey, and you take it. You take advantage of those opportunities. When stuff like this happens, you get a kid that fell to you that he can end up becoming a guy that.
Lord, I'm so with you on the Butler thing. I'm so with you on it. I think a lot of fans are with you on it, but I
the problem with that is,
I think I'm in the camp of that he wasn't resigning here no matter what, and it didn't matter if we offer him a freaking super.
It was like when we tried to offer Scott Rowland $150 million. Like we could have offered Scott Rowland ownership stake in the Phillies, and I don't think he was resigning here in Philadelphia at that time.
Oh man!
Certain guys.
Steve's coming after me now. Oh man! We're having it's freaking it's totally
What
different.
the fuck are you even talking about? See, okay, Steve P, I don't know who the fuck you are. You're like, what? What, this guy, like, you're a fucking idiot, bro. I don't know what else to tell you. What are we talking about here?
Listen.
We picked a guy at 25 in an NBA and he has star potential. Yeah, if you don't think the kid has star potential, bro, you need some fucking help. I don't really know what the fuck to tell you. You watch the kid play, you're looking at star potential.
And no one has sat there and said that freaking Jalen Hurts doesn't have star potential.
He's mad because I call Jalen Hurts the next Tyrod Taylor. Well, when you watch the guy, he looks like fucking Tyrod Taylor. I'm sorry that you idiots want him to be Kyler Murray. He's not Kyler Murray. My hypocrisy. There's no hypocrisy here, bro. It's just called watching the game. Who gives a fuck that Maxey was taken with the 25th pick and that Hurts was the 5th quarterback? Like, that's all fucking irrelevant. I'm fine. I'll be a hypocrite. I'd rather be a hypocrite than a guy that has no fucking clue what he's talking about. I can't even piece together your fucking argument, Steve. I don't even know what the fuck. You see how Steven, my partner over here, is laughing his ass off so fucking bad because he read that comment and he didn't even know what the fuck to make of it. He's like, "What the hell's the point? Like, what are you even trying to get at?" So one was taken with the 25th pick in the draft and the other guy was the 5th quarterback. Yeah. Okay. And
why? Because the number 5 is in both of them? What are we talking about?
What exactly is your point?
Listen, it's kind of a national thing now that this kid was a steal at that position, that he should have been drafted way higher because of COVID is reason why he fell into the Sixers lab, is the reason why he fell to 25.
If you don't think a kid,
so what hypocrisy is there? Like it's not like it's not like we've sat there and trashed Jalen Hurts at any point in time during the last month of programming.
You see how these people take Tyrod Taylor as an insult? That's such an insult. As if Tyrod Taylor
it's actually not.
NFL for 10 years. He's been a starter for 2 different teams. Like, that's a heck of an NFL career that guy's had in Tyrod Taylor, and people are taking this as an insult.
What was it? The Kaiser one would have been a shot.
You know,
the Deshaun Kaiser one. The Deshaun Kaiser one would have been a shot. The Tyrod Taylor is a compliment.
I think the kid's going to have a good career. Why, I'm an asshole because I don't think the kid's going to be a Hall of Famer? I don't fucking get it.
And it's a national thing that Hurts should be playing. No, it's not. It's only fucking nonsense that Hurts should be playing.
The idiots like Max Kellerman think that. And if you listen to anything, any of the dribble that comes out of Max Kellerman's mouth,
I don't know. It's crazy when you talk to anyone who's been a quarterback or does film on quarterbacks, and I don't see any of them throwing Carson under a bus. Haven't seen Jaws throw him under the bus. Doesn't have any connection to Philadelphia. Kurt Warner was actually backing him up. We already know Dan Orlovsky, has love as well as he's thrown some shade at Carson, but he's another one firmly in his corner. I think I'm gonna go with the actual analyst, not the shock jocks who are trying to get clicks.
The two things aren't even comparable because when you talk about the national people that are talking about playing Jalen Hurts, they're simply doing it because it's a talking point. Ooh, this will be a talking point. This will get people interested. We've got to talk. It's always the fun conversation in the NFL. We do it here all the time because we're Philly and we're a bunch of fucking bipolar, miserable, just bunch of just. You need to people need to smoke a blunt and just smile in this city every once in a while. And instead, we're so miserable about everything. We enjoy. We're not happy unless we're unhappy. That we're constantly calling for things like this. The guy, that's why people literally booed Mike Schmidt or tried to boo Mike Schmidt out of this city for 15 years. People just they're not happy unless they're unhappy here. But
because Mike Schmidt only hit solo home runs like his whole career.
There you go. Exactly. A great insult there. But these national, that was one of those narratives people like to try to push, right? But these national people that are talking, like, it's the most popular thing always when it comes to these national media guys to talk about the backup quarterback. Like, that's always the sexy conversation. It really is.
They're the bridesmaids.
Talk about a backup quarterback, and they just will. Like,
they're the bridesmaids. They're the bridesmaids. They're the bridesmaids. I'm gonna just leave it at they're the freaking bridesmaids.
We went through this when fucking Sam Bradford and Mark Sanchez were quarterbacks, and there was people that were pounding the table for Mark Sanchez to start, as if that was going to help anything.
And what happened when he got that chance, by the way? How'd that go?
The ugly. Mark Sanchez is the definition of like wherever Mark Sanchez goes, like a black cloud of ugliness follows him. It doesn't matter where he goes. It doesn't matter. The black cloud of ugliness will follow and find Mark Sanchez.
All right. As we're getting ready to kind of wrap things up here, want to appreciate everyone.
I still think this Steve P guy's a troll. No actual person could be this stupid.
Again, I'm gonna appreciate everyone. All the fans comment on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, all that. Appreciate the love. Keep it coming in. Next week, I'm actually gonna do one of our giveaways. That's whoever gets the winner of either the game or can pick which game the Eagles will win moving forward. You're gonna win something. How about that? Do a little something.
They're gonna win a game. Oh, they'll win the Cowboys game, sure.
so Zach answered this the Cowboys game.
That'll be like the thing that is the saving grace in this whole season of just nonsense that is 2020. Well, at least we beat the Cowboys in week 16. We've got that.
Oh man. But already got a guest lined up for you guys next week. We're not gonna have to wait till the end of the program to have some shenanigans this week. But we're not gonna
next week, same time, same date, same shenanigans.
I don't know. We'll see.
Right here, a2dradio.com.
I don't know. Chris fights Friday. Who knows? I might just send him the link to have him pop in Saturday while we're going through it. Oh man, he's taking shots at you, bro. I might have to just let you respond. I might have to let you respond.
Yeah.
How about Steve? We continue this same time, same place next week. Sound good?
Is Steve P going to be here?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Please tell me he's going to be here. This guy is my new favorite person.
I was telling him, can we finish?
Are you going to be here next week, Steve? Are you going to tune in?
Like I said, let's finish this same time, same place next week.
Hold on. We're waiting for Steve's response. We just got to make sure that Steve confirms.
I still have a few things to get to. I'll give him a chance to respond before we get off. Relax. But obviously, get a little sponsor shout out here before we get here and show the boys over at Ambuck Services some love. That's Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services. Call Michael Ambrose. Tell him A2D set you 20% off gutter guards, anything around your house. They got you covered. That's ambuckservices.com. Also, again, make sure you guys are heading over to Philly Drinkers. I don't know if you've seen, but the disgusting, ugly Christmas sweaters from A2D is here. Obviously, bad things happen in Philadelphia is the theme because bad things are happening in Philadelphia.
I love a good dad sweater. I tell you, I gotta get the look ready. So
on top of the sweaters, obviously, we got the Gaithers, t-shirts, all that stuff. Regardless of your wrestling, we got our hockey themed ones. You got the show themed ones. We got some more stuff coming. So
I need to get an A2D tank top for down here in Florida.
There is an A2D tank top. You just got.
We got tank tops. Yeah, I think I was just going to buy one and just cut the sleeves off or something.
No, they got one for you, bro.
Oh man. Okay. Hey.
He said he'll be here. He'll be here.
Okay, good. It's a date, Steve.
And Chris is gonna be here too. Okay. All right. That's awesome. Make sure you guys are back here next week. Like I said, we're gonna have some fun. Like I said, anyone who's missed the post I put out on social media. Kind of just letting everyone know where, what some of the things are that we got. We got some signed things from Mike Lieberthal, Ricky Patalico, Vinny Panzienza, Jim Everett, Ron Jaworski. So guys, make sure you guys are subscribing. Make sure you're tuning into all the programming. And like I said, I will be doing one at some point in time, not on this show. Doesn't matter if you like or subscribe. I'm looking for active people who are actively commenting, posting on our programming. So We're going to look for our loyal listeners. It's not just going to be some algorithm type thing or whatever. It's not just to hit a subscribe and you're be one of the lucky winners. No, you're actually have to do something for this one.
We're gonna pull names out of a hat. Whoever's name we pull, you're the lucky winner.
You're gonna pull names out of a hat. That's what the that's what the randomizers are for, brother.
Their new system.
But again, another fun one, guys. We'll catch you guys next week. You know, going to talk some more football. Hopefully, the Eagles gave us something different to look at with this Packers game this week. I don't expect much. We'll see how that plays out. Again, you know, best of skill to both Sheena and Chris in their upcoming fights on the 11th. You know, obviously, we're going to have Chris back on here again at some point. They're going to actually sit down and have an interview with him because Chris is a fun guy to talk to. Yeah, he was in a kind of weird situation there, but we'll get him back on here and have some fun and actually be able to sit down and talk to him when the craziness isn't going on. But other than that, we're going to say goodbye. I'm Steve. This was the Amish Undertaker next to me. The Amish
I'm Max Kellerman. I look like an Amish Undertaker.
They were coming at you today, bro. I thought they come at me hard sometimes.
Somebody told me I look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and I was like, well, that's actually accurate. I was like, that's good. Yeah, like I do. Like the Amish Undertaker.
Absolutely.
I don't even think I'm the size of the Undertaker's like right arm. Like, let's be honest. Like, forget about the Undertaker. Like,
maybe you'd be the size of the third leg. I don't know. Who knows? I wouldn't know. Maybe his wife would. We'll figure out. We'll come at that one when it comes to pass. But either way, yeah, I know. We always have to hit some weird stuff before we leave. Come on, bro.
Like it hasn't been weird enough today,
bro. There's nothing that could get weirder with this week, this month, this year. 2020 needs to end. Remember, everyone, when the clock strikes 0, we're saying Jumanji so we can get to 2021.
Or the world's just gonna end.
All right, guys. We love y'all. Make sure you guys are tuning in. Card Knock should be or no, Card Knocks. I believe it's Kep's Corner with the it should be streaming the game again, I believe. And In This Very Ring should be also on tonight, I believe. So, guys, make sure you're tuning into the rest of the programming. Be safe. Have fun. Go Birds. I guess. Love y'all.